Hello everybody, welcome back to the House of Valentina. I'm Valentina and today I'm having a bit of styling fun. I wanted to be able to style up my cabinet. The china cabinet is a piece that a lot of people are starting to get rid of. And personally, I just absolutely love the china cabinet. There's just something about the fact that it's a confined space, but it's also got the glass on it that just makes it a lot of fun to be able to decorate with. And I feel like it's a storage piece that we should not be getting rid of because it has so many uses in our homes. Now, I know we're going for a more modern style these days, and a lot of you write in and say that you have the old school traditional ones. I hope that today's video is gonna leave you feeling super inspired, no matter whether you have one that's a little bit more vintage like mine, if you have something that's more antique, if it's cherry, if it's a more modern or more contemporary, whatever style you've got. I hope this video is just gonna leave you inspired to just go decorate whatever you've got and just enjoy these confined spaces in which we have that are just honestly a lot of fun to just style up in lots of different ways. So make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, what are the spaces of your home that you just feel like you're struggling to style? Because styling is just my thing. I just absolutely love doing it, and I love sharing with you a few different ways in which we can actually do this. So I'm definitely preparing some other videos for you to share with you how I style up other areas of the house so that it'll just get you inspired and we can have some fun together. But yeah, make sure you hit subscribe. As you can see at the moment, I've got it styled up with some really oops. At the moment, as you can see, I've got this styled up with some really beautiful pieces. I just love sculptural pieces. I feel like they just give you a really iconic look. As you can tell, my style does tend to be, I seem to just be leaning more and more towards this wabi-sabi kind of feel, sculptural pieces, something with a little bit more warmth and patina, but it also just feels really modern as well. So sculptures like these do make really nice pieces to really help you stand out if you want to have a little bit more of a modern yet still organic look in here. So I'm going to set this aside for now. This is actually a vintage book that I stole from my parents' house. They didn't notice yet. Maybe mom will want it back now that she sees the video. But yeah, I like these because they have that really nice vintage kind of cover on them that's got that linen look on them. And so you can kind of see where this rustic kind of organic look is coming in. I actually found these planters at Target. I just loved that little fluting on them, and I thought that that was just so gorgeous. So I've got the set in here, and I've got the moss. Moss is a really good solution for china cabinets because it's green, right? Gives you a little pop of green inside the cabinet, but it's not gonna die, and it's dry. So it's not a faux floral or anything like that, and it's kind of silent and yet just gives you a little pop of green. So if I keep doing this, I'm gonna just wanna put it back. I'm not gonna want to take it apart. Maybe we'll put it right back to the way it was. I don't know, but I have a feeling we're gonna come with some really good looks today, so we're gonna give it a chance. I've also got this absolutely gorgeous sculptural piece. It feels like something that was like, inspired by like a volcanic, you know, like area. I don't know, like out of the sea or something like that. It's actually quite heavy. Let me set it down. And then I've also got this beautiful, beautiful sculptural piece. As you can tell, the word sculptural just keeps coming back up over and over. It's because it's what I just really love. And so you can see how originally I played something rustic against something really smooth, and I'm playing with a lot of different shapes. And I do feel like that just makes it really interesting and fun. And if I've left this for over 4 months, that does say a lot about me because I tend to move things around a lot. But these little pieces, they just felt so good in there that I just really loved it. One final piece is this absolutely breathtaking, basically just black charred bowl, right? It's got this ebony finish on it. I actually got this off of Amazon. So I've got varying prices in this cabinet, and it will be throughout this video. So I'm just gonna link the looks up down below. I've actually got these spheres, and you guys ask me a lot about these, and I can't remember which one this is because they all look alike. I did find them at HomeGoods as well, but of course HomeGoods is the hardest place, so I just like the texture, and of course it's another shape. Sculptural, I know, I'm a broken record. I can't help it. I just love it. You can see here another piece that's got a sculptural feel. It's just a really nice vase, and vases can also be used in your china cabinet without something in them. And so can items that are meant kind of for the garden. You can have a lot of fun with using different objects from different places of the house. They don't have to only be from the china section, right? I am gonna style this up though in a way that does actually use glassware and china so we can kind of get a feel for what it would look like. I know, because I really want to try that too. Because I was like, oh, it'll be really cute, style it with glassware. So I'm going to try both today, okay? So we're going to get a couple different feels, and that way you guys can vote and tell me which one of these you love the most. All right, we've got it empty. It's looking a little underwhelming at the moment, but with every empty cabinet is a moment of opportunity, and I, for one, get super excited about these moments because it just means that something's about to happen. So I've been thinking about this, and I cannot decide which way to go first. I literally was laying in bed last night and then woke up this morning thinking about it. I think I'm gonna do two different scenarios here. I wanna do like a French country kind of monastic look. You're gonna see like my style has developed to the point that I have somewhat of an obsession with French country pieces. I keep ordering them. And I love them, but I don't go for like the florally stuff like I used to as much. I really like things that have that earthy kind of feel. Here, let me show you an example. I got on Etsy a few weeks ago and went shopping for some actual French vintage jars, and I just had to have this one. I just absolutely loved it. Look at the bottom of it. I mean, oh, it's so good. I just love pieces like this. I cannot guarantee that there will not be more pieces like that coming into our home very soon. Yeah, I would definitely suggest checking out my Etsy favorites because you can actually shop the pieces that I've managed to show restraint. Not ordered. There's not a lot of them, okay? Actually, there's quite a few, okay? But I do think that pieces like this have that gorgeous, like humble simplicity of the French countryside that for me, I just adore. It's the stone, it's the wood, it's the clay. I'm just in love. When we lived in Europe, I loved going to monasteries actually because they had this beautiful stone, and just the way that they were put together was just so beautiful. And I also, at the same time, have a thing for like this brand. I have a thing for this brand, Astier de Valette. While we were in Paris this last time, we got to visit the shop, and it's a treasure trove, literally. It looks like something like out of Harry Potter. I mean, just absolutely incredible. And they hand make every single one of their pieces. So I've got some of these pieces that are they are handmade and a little bit more pristine, but I personally just think that this combination together is just magical. So I don't really have a plan. I'm gonna bring you guys in maybe a little bit closer so you guys can see how I'm putting it together, and we'll just fiddle around with it until we find something we like. So let's come in close and let's give this thing a French country, rustic, monastic kind of look. Come on, right? Like we're playing with kind of these triangular shapes here. And I think that that's just so appealing to the eye. And it doesn't have to be precise, but it is nice when the items have varying heights. So of course that's gonna make me feel like maybe I need something here. I want this item to be centered inside the frame of the glass. So those are a couple things to be thinking about. Concrete vessel, that could go there. See how it just kind of adds that little something there and just kind of fills it a little bit. I'm not gonna do an overstuffed look, at least I don't think so. I can't decide. I'm like, oh, I could put dinnerware in here and I could overload it. Like, I have too many ideas for one day. I really wanted to try a little bit more of a lived-in look, and you can choose and let me know in the comments, please, so I can hear what you guys like the best. So cool, right? I love these. I think that just looks so good. I may use another one down below, but for now, let's leave them here. So I found actually a piece, which I actually took this in the Louvre years ago, and this little frame is actually not vintage. They're off of Amazon, and they've got this really nice kind of vintage feel to them. So I'm thinking I might add this back here. I found this guy who is in a modern frame, but he is very vintage. It's a piece that I actually got at that French market down in Savannah that I absolutely love. Yeah, so I'm just trying to add in a few things that'll kind of add in a little bit more of this sort of still life kind of feel, and I need something tall back here. But at this point, everything is fair game. Everything can move, and I'm not married to anything staying, and you kind of have to be like that because once you start putting it all together, you might need to move stuff. So things are really starting to progress here, and I've actually decided to bring in more of the dinnerware in here because it is a dining room, and it is actually a space that we really sit at and actually use. And I thought it would be really nice to kind of keep the top looking a little bit pristine and the bottom really practical. So I'm actually really liking this, and I'm having so much fun just pulling everything out and just seeing it afresh. So I've got these gorgeous scalloped plates. I adore these. I've got these in a couple sizes. I've got this dinnerware, which is actually from H&M. The other one is also actually from Amazon. So I love to shop places, all different places, and I'll also shop vintage as well, because I've got these guys that are handmade in here. And so what I'm trying to do is keep a little bit of black going throughout here, and then just a mix of these like rustic textiles to give it that kind of rustic, kind of monastic kind of feel. And then these are actually from a company called The Company Store, White Company. I always say it the wrong way, The White Company. And I love this sort of handmade wobbliness of these. And so there's something that's also a little bit pristine in here. And I think that just adds a nice little balance, but we're not done. So we'll see what stays and what goes. But I'm having a lot of fun actually just pulling my dinnerware out and enjoying myself. And I'm like, I'm not gonna want to change this in a minute because I'm having so much fun. But I think this is part of decorating that we forget. We get so caught up in trying to make something perfect that we forget that this is the joy of decorating. And so I just love seeing everything and touching it and enjoying it. And so yeah, I highly recommend that along the way as well. But I'm gonna grab some more stuff and keep filling in the little spots here. All right, well, I think I've finished and I love the result. I feel like it has a little bit of that kind of flea market, kind of gathered over time kind of look. It's got a little bit of a nod to French style with the soup tureen and some of the little French, a little bit more modern items. And then there's also that feeling of like the ancient, and I just love it. So I'm gonna take some little clips of this and share the finished result with you, and then we will start our next one. I have ended up absolutely loving the result. I did go back and add a couple things to the top. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks really good with a little something added to the top. Really just adds a little height to the space and a little verticality. But I am going to, I literally almost can't bring myself to take it apart because I love it so much. but needs must, I want to try it one more way, and it's actually like I'm having like a physical response where I'm like, no, leave it. It just looks so nice. I'm enjoying it. It's so nice to be able to pull out things that you really love. And we should be doing this more in our homes and getting to pull out some pieces that I didn't have a home for. Let's get started on round 2 and our next look, shall we? I'm trying to decide if I want to go back to that more rustic look like I had in the beginning, but I really wanted to try a look with glassware because I really think that could be a really nice look. I just need to decide whether I'm going to do it the way I did before and add decor up here and then maybe glassware down there. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I really like that method, but I'm going to make it a little bit more pristine, a little bit more classic looking rather than maybe quite so rustic, but we'll see how it goes because I can imagine this thing 100 different ways and every one of them gets me excited. So it's always a little bit like, okay, which one am I gonna pick today? And I've got my glassware. It's been sitting down here in storage and it's this gorgeous optic glassware that has that kind of fluting on it and I haven't gotten to really see it very much. So I'm thinking if I put it here, right, I can start to really see my glassware and I'm gonna decide after that which plates I might display again, if I'm gonna go a little bit more rustic again, or if I'm going to go a little bit more pristine, a little bit more classic and modern. Too many options. That's the fun of this. This is the fun of decorating. I love it. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun bringing in completely different items and really giving this a totally different look. So I've got these really nice tall white vases. These are the ones from Amazon that are usually in stock. And then I've also got my white dinnerware. I use this stuff all the time to entertain with, so it is rather nice actually to have it out. I do have some of the rustic pieces back in here, and I actually have a tagine that I brought back from Morocco that normally sits really high on a shelf and I don't get to see it. So I'm actually gonna try to see if I can work this into the design, and I'm playing the white and the pristine against something just a little bit more rustic so that it'll feel like it really just kind of belongs in the rest of the room, and so far I'm loving it. I mean, who would have thought we could come up with 2 amazing ideas for one day? I am just loving it. So I think I'll put this here and I'm just gonna keep going. I really just wasn't convinced that I was gonna like this look, but actually I've ended up really enjoying it. I might tweak it just a little bit more, but I've ended up loving it because it is pristine and it is really nice to see my glassware. So I just need a bigger cabinet so I can have it all. That's what I'm like, we should just make the whole wall a cabinet. Ooh. That's actually very tempting. And isn't that the fun part about when you decorate, is you realize I have a lot more things I want to look at and I don't have space for all of it. So it would be nice to have a built-in all the way across the wall. It is nice to have those open to the kitchen every now and then though, so I don't know what I'll end up doing for sure, like down the road, but for today, I'm loving the results. I hope you've enjoyed the different looks that we've had today and that you've had a lot of fun getting lots of inspiration. A little bit of noise from the painters there in there working, and I'm like, I'm a little bit disheveled. We've had some fun today. This is what I love. This is what I love. So I hope you've left feeling super inspired. I will leave the links for all of the items down below in the show notes for you. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because apparently we're gonna have a laundry room makeover to share with you very, very soon. So thank you again for joining me. And now let's check out this final look all together.